Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Tuesday afternoon. Home from work, getting going here, but today's a pretty big day. Today, we're putting CIDRs in our heifers, or our first AI group. But we gotta feed first. Yeah, we got the spike on, so it's bale out. Ooh, that's a good sign. Looks like photos in heat today. That is actually really cool. I mean, I'll get a good look because she just got kind of ridden, then she was riding somebody else. So very good sign. Very happy. We do have to move a bunch of stuff around while we do this today. One thing they definitely do along this fence line is, well, they kind of chew it up a little bit. So we got to get a few more bales out here to get them rotationally grazed, I guess, or grazed bales. So kind of, if anything, gets that stuff beat into the ground. The grass will come back. Typically it does every year. Unfortunately, this has been a little bit wetter spring. I think this is the wettest April in Wisconsin history, or at least like Wausau history. I don't know if it was Wausau or Wisconsin. Can't remember. Check out the mineral. We got to move this mineral feeder. Woo! Oh boy, they definitely hit the trace. Trace mineral is gone. We are checking out the crowd here because I'm looking at that one right there, and I'm pretty sure that is the photo machine. Yep, looking at the bag, I can tell that's photo. Hey Jeffrey, how are we doing, kiddo? Huh? How's that hock? Much reduced swelling. Okay, here's photo. Yep, I think that's a pretty good sign. We'll take that. We'll mark her down and most likely put her into our second AI group. So putting CIDRs in today, we're doing CIDRs, we're doing a shot of Sister Lilin, and I probably always pronounce that wrong, but that's just how I pronounce it. That's our GnRH. If you're looking at your protocols, your synchronization protocols, that's our GnRH shot. So look at CIDR, GnRH, and then we're doing, just because of the way things have worked out this year, last year, and I think maybe the year before, we vaccinated a few weeks earlier, and then we came back and started our protocol. For years, we actually had vaccinated and wormed and everything all in one day, and that's what we're going to do again today. So they're also going to get their vaccines and their worm. So we are almost ready to get going doing CIDRs slash vaccination slash dewormer. All right, so we just have some ivermectin, nothing crazy there. So the main one, and these guys already had this shot, but the rest of the cows are going to get this shot. And the biggest reason I can do it now is because all these animals are open. Mainly the heifers are obviously open, but all the cows, when we do vaccinations this spring, they too are open. What we're giving them is we're sticking with the Vista 5 VL5. So this guy right here, this is the same thing they got as calves in their weaning protocol. This was the first year we really went with a modified live, something a little different for us. But one, it was actually a little cheaper than the Virus Shield. That went up by like $10 for like the 10 dose bottles, which is what I actually like to use, especially in the springtime. And then what they also got in the fall, and what all cows get in the spring, is we're still going with the Alpha 7 MB. Really like this product. It's been good for us. At least we haven't seen any negatives to it. And the MB lets you know that it also has a the MB also lets you know that you have a pink eye. So that's why we like it. I think that's probably why they have it pink colored. And then for putting the CIDRs in, which there's 10 of these guys, then they also get a shot of the sister Lilin. So the CIDR and the sister Lilin is the start of the suppression of their heat cycle. So today is kind of the start of everybody's at a different point in the road, and the CIDRs are the stop sign. And as everybody gets up to that stop sign, then in a week we're going to pull it and give the shot of estimate, and that's when the green light goes. And like 2 to 3 days later, then they cycle. So that's kind of the whole idea. Come on. All right. Well, our start time was a little bit later than anticipated, but honestly, it actually went pretty well. Little Nora is a little high-strung. Going in the chute, not bad. In the chute, not great. Well, Dad gives me a little bit of grief about a couple of the flex. One, Deja, because she's a little excitable. And Nala was a little excitable, and Nora is Nora's a little better than Nala was. I said I only care about how they act next spring, because honestly they haven't been in the chute since October. Yeah, October. So I mean, I'll give them a pass on the first time if she gets a little nicer the second time and a little nicer the third time. As long as she behaves herself getting bred, that's important. And then as long as she behaves herself next spring. So if we can get them bred, I'm okay giving them a shot, because that usually means that they've behaved themselves well enough to get them bred, especially with the tech. Another thing I remember to do this year is cut the tails on the CIDRs. Those CIDRs run, they have like a kind of basically a plastic string that hangs out, so you can go along, pull it out. Up until a couple of years ago, never had a problem. All of a sudden, like 2 years ago, we had like 3 or 4 of them, like almost a third to half of them get pulled out. And it was like, okay, what the hell? That never happened. Maybe had one before that ever. So definitely last year and this year remembered to cut the tails off. We've got the board set up, so we've got the heifers up on top already, and then we'll figure out a second group in a couple of weeks. Tentatively, I think the 3rd week of May we'll breed a second group. Yeah, that was good. That's a big step, but that's enough for tonight. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, it is Wednesday afternoon. So basically this is the most sunshine we've seen all day. Of course, it lightly rained basically all day. I did not check the rain gauge today. Had a ½ inch from the other day. What was it, Monday, I think? Between Monday and Tuesday night, or Monday night into Tuesday, something like whatever that is. So that was like about a ½ inch. I did not see what we got today. I'm guessing it's probably another 1/10, something like that. But we're gonna start out. Mahinder's a little thirsty, so we gotta fuel that guy up. So since we've started our synchronizing program, which if you ever look them up, we use the 7-day co-sync protocol, and we do it with the idea of the timed AI. Now is when I start kind of finalizing and figuring out who I want to go on who. I've got a pretty good idea. Didn't get any new bulls this year just because, well, one, Gen X didn't have anybody new. There's a couple of bulls out there that I'd like to use, but just based on our numbers, honestly, and kind of based on our schedule this year, kind of getting backed up a little bit. Also due to the weather, these girls are still out on this field and we really don't have a good way to get them in. I think we're just gonna get in a second crew. No new bulls this year. Have plenty of stock and we'll be able to cover everybody. And I had a couple of bulls, or I have a couple of bulls still in the tank that we did not use last year. Like I still got 2 or 3 shots of mic drop, and I still got two or three shots of eagle, which we did not use last year. Got a couple shots of mainline that I've tried, but I haven't gotten a calf out of him yet. Just luck of the draw. So we've got a couple shots of him. And then there's Bold Ruler, there's True Justice, there's Gibbs Essential, there's Moneymaker. So we have plenty of bulls in the tank, and plenty of bulls that will work on cows, and plenty of bulls that will work on heifers. So I'm not seeing anybody that was in fresh heat. So now we have to figure out who do we want to go on who, but how do we pick that? So the process for me for selecting bulls, and not necessarily selecting bulls, there I just kind of look at what's out there, what's available, and does he have the attributes that would contribute to our herd. Does he have at least decent calving ease? And there's 2 different kinds of bulls that you're going to look at. You're going to look at either heifer bulls or cow bulls. You know, obviously a heifer bull, you know, they can be used on cows, because do they serve a purpose? Kind of like what I did with 431 and Bold Ruler. 431 has a lot of high birth weight calves, and she's just maybe a smidge on the bigger frame size. So I use Bold Ruler to help lower that birth weight, hopefully. And then also to hopefully bring the frame size down a little bit, which in the resulting calf, the heifer, got just that. And then time will tell on the frame. But a lot of times it really comes down to, oh, I like his build, I like his numbers, he's got good performance, but he offers good calving ease. Or is there a specific reason you want that bull for a specific trait or characteristic, something, whatever it is, you know, you're picking out a bull. And then I can do a data dump out of ASA and put all the EPDs of our cows into a spreadsheet, and I'll do that, and then I'll just kind of start organizing them how I want them. So once you have formulated your list, you start thinking about your list, you know, then you can start comparing your bulls to your cows. And if you've never done this before, if you've never done AI, or you're new to a breed, or you're just new to cattle in general, and whether you're looking for an AI bull or you're looking for like a herd bull, so a couple things to consider. Herd bull, it is a good idea to either get it from a reputable breeder. You know, just getting we used to call them, you know, you can call them Craigslist bulls, or so-and-so down the road just got an extra bull. You know, find a reputable, find a good breeder in your area. Whether that is, you know, somebody that you've known for a while, somebody that has been recommended by somebody. Once you find them, you know, are their bulls DNA tested? Are they sire verified? Now, if you're looking for an AI bull, the real easy way to go about it is who's popular? What is everybody else using? There's quite a few forums, especially groups on Facebook and other forums and stuff, where it's asked almost once a month, what's everybody using this year? All right, Dad's gonna run the silage out, so they will be happy about that. I'll get a second chance to look at them. So actually, this is that 431 right here that we put the bolt ruler on. You know, and like I say, frame wise, she's not like a lot bigger, but then that's photo right next to her, you know, and she's 431's probably got 3 inches on the hip on her. You know, and frame wise, really like photo's size. You know, is she too small? No, honestly, probably the one that's about as ideal frame that I like is that 301 that had Jeff bold ruler bull. So then after I've formulated a list, or after you pick your list, so basically what I'm looking to do essentially when I'm picking a bull for an animal is I'm looking at, is there anything that she needs improvement with? I just want to balance her out, make her better, but I'm not like, oh, well, she's got a 10 calving ease, so I want to try and give her a little more calving ease, whether that's through maternal or direct. You know, like I'm not looking for a 20 plus direct calving ease or a massive maternal calving ease bull, something like that. Like just something that's gonna help bring her up, you know, in that category. And it's not just through the EPD, there's also the reality of what actually comes out. But the EPDs are the tool, and that's also why you look for higher accuracy in EPDs. So that's another thing that you got to take into consideration. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to produce a better female. You know, if we got a heifer and retained her in the herd out of a specific breeding, I want it to be better than her mom and her dad. So I try and find a bull that's going to complement certain areas of where a cow is lacking. And if she's pretty good across the board, then I'm going to find a bull that's either going to complement her and keep her status quo, or maybe pick her up in a couple different spots. But those are kind of the basics for how I look at it. Hey, how's it going? It is Thursday afternoon. Happy Friday Eve. Got some of my fuel filters today. I had actually ordered some and then they canceled or told me like, hey, they're not gonna show up for like 2 weeks yet. I just ordered them on Amazon. I canceled the order, but then I was looking at the status of the other ones that I had ordered to replace them, and the order said that the other ones are gonna be here today and they're already out for delivery. I don't know, not really a huge deal. It's not like we're not going to use them. So if they sit on the shelf for a year, they sit on the shelf for a year. No big deal. The other thing I did today, I need to call Hawkeye Breeders after we're done feeding. I ordered 5 units of IPU pole elevation. Really, really nice bull that Jeff Sorensen had purchased a few years ago. He is heifer-safe, but he's also like kind of across the board. Just he's got a lot of good attributes. If I remember, I'll drop a picture in here. So yeah, I really like him. Seen some of his calves. The stats like birth weight, performance, that kind of stuff is really, really nice. So looking forward to that. Not sure who he's going on yet. Depends on when I get him. All right, I kind of looked them all over before when I was feeding the bale, but everybody's looking good. I don't know. Oh, here's Jeff. Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're getting around a lot better. Maybe just a little hitch in that get along. I think I got to mark down our CF10. I think I got to double check if I marked her down. This is photo. Oh, and then our 53, our red 53. And then I got to mark her down too. If elevation is here, I think I'd maybe breed Nora to elevation. He is heifer safe. He's used them on a number of heifers. He did say he had a guy that's been using them on some red Angus cows and getting some nice low birth weights there too. So good bull, very reasonably priced, and that's unfortunately that's two qualities that I have to look for. Is, well, always a good bull, but the reasonably priced is always a nice too. And I can get 5 straws, which is all I need. All right, we also got another 1,000 pounds of distiller grains, so that's nice. Probably that will be the last one we get until, well, if we get it in the fall, I should say, if. But that'll be the last one for, well, this spring and summer. We probably won't really give it to the steers over the summer. I mean, we might, but 1,000 pounds will definitely go a lot further. Hey, happy Friday. All right, off and going. It doesn't want to decide if it's sunny or not sunny. Did get another load of road base today. We're gonna take like a green trailer full of that behind Mom and Dad's for that road that goes down the hill where it washed out a little bit. And then we always have spots around here that we can use to fill in other areas. And then we also got a load of just regular gravel for the lane in that wet spot, like where we have our standing water on this side of the road, the east side, and then you got the pond on the west side. It's always so rough there, so we got a load of gravel for that section. Oh, and you guys aren't going to see this for a few weeks, but today is May 1st, so happy beef month. May is beef month, so, you know, go out and eat beef. Support your local beef producer. That's always the best way. And of course, it's also getting into prime grilling season. That is one of our factor daughters. Solid black. Yes, looks a little gray now. She will darken up. Don't worry about it. She will darken up. That is not like the diluter gene or anything like that. But that is out of one of our cowboy cut gold mine. This is the one out of 430. Again, she will darken up. Like if you see her a year from now, if we would just see her a year from now, she will be maybe not this dark, but she will darken up from that. That is not a diluted like grayish color. That's just her, that's her baby fuzz. Does look like she's got a little bit of the Schlitz, but ears are still up and perky and doing good. Looks like this 75 steer did too, but he's still doing really good. Oh yeah, yep. And we got over here. Is this the 913? Yeah, this is the 913 heifer out of YC 913. And our Kingpin bull. And CF 913 was in heat. So that's a good sign. I'll have to mark her down. That's pretty good for her. If she was in heat today, that might actually work out pretty good, because in about 3 weeks or so would be when she would be getting AI'd for another round. So I'll definitely put her on the maybe to AI list. She's usually a little bit heavier birth weight. Frame wise is pretty solid. So yeah, I mean, definitely flexibility. Honestly, I'd probably put bull ruler on her and go that route, because honestly we've gotten great calves out of bull ruler. Just loving the way they grow. All right, I've got to head in because my night is not over. So it is Friday, it is the end of the day. I hope you guys liked the video. It's been a big week getting these guys started on their AI program, and they will get their CIDRs pulled on Tuesday. They'll get their shot of estromate, and we plan to breed For us, it ends up being a couple typically will come into heat on Thursday, standing heat, and then the rest of them will get bred on Friday per the timed AI. Hope you guys liked the video. Please smash that like button on your way out. Support the channel. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Definitely supports us here at Ohrmundt Simmentals. And as always, thanks for coming along.